Welcome, everyone. This is Rhonda Allen. I am here solo, flying solo this week. Star is still in or is traveling back from San Diego on Comic Con. Busy, busy. So it is me tonight for Magical Witchy World TV. Happy to have you here. Happy to be back. And now to introduce our special guest for tonight.
It's a magical, witchy world. It's a magical, witchy world.
Welcome, Iya Sobande Greer. Welcome to Magical Witchy World TV.
Peace, peace, peace. Thank you. Thank you so much. I am honored to be here with you, Rhonda. Thank you so much for inviting me.
I am so excited to have you here, and I know that I have my own biases because I have I have worked with you in the past as one of your students, so I am a little biased, but I'm so grateful. I'm grateful you could take
Thank
the
you.
time. As
Thank
we
you.
like to do with each one of our guests, I'd like to read through your bio first, introduce you to anyone watching live or on playback. So,
Oh,
Iya Angelique Sobande is a fifth generation master herbalist, holistic nutritionist, and wellness strategist based in the Kentucky Tennessee region. She's also a Desert Storm veteran of the United States Army. In 1992, she made history by founding the first African American school of herbalism in the United States, the NCB School of Herbalism and Holistic Health, and the first health food store in the city of Clarksville, Tennessee. In addition to her foundational work, Iya Sobande is the visionary powerhouse behind several transformative initiatives. These include the Sacred Waters Retreat, Cook, Cure, and Conjure, Legacy Tea Blends, and the Afrobotany Immersion Conference. Each of these sacred projects reflects her commitment to holistic health, cultural heritage, and spiritual growth. Iya Sobande's academic credentials are equally impressive. She is a proud graduate of Austin P State University, where she earned undergraduate degrees in communications, public relations, and health and nutrition. Furthering her expertise, she is a certified natural health professional with the Trinity School of Natural Health. She also holds the title of Holistic Health Consultant from the International Board of African Thinkers and Healers Incorporated and the Ghana Traditional Healers Association under the guidance of the late world renowned mentor and family friend, Dr. Laila O. Africa ND. Over the past 30 years, Iya Sobande's contributions to the field of holistic health have been widely recognized. Her products, services, workshops, and literary publications have been featured in esteemed platforms such as Traditional Medicinals, Female Trailblazers of American Herbalism, Black Enterprise Magazine, the Country Music Awards Association, Urban Network Magazine, and the National Coffee and Tea Trade Journal. She has also been listed in Who's Who in Alternative Healthcare and has been a guest on a variety of radio shows, podcasts, and other publications. Iya Sobande's work extends beyond borders. She has traveled the globe, lecturing and presenting workshops and rituals on herbal medicine from both a historical and spiritual perspective. Her passion for healing and education continues to inspire and transform lives around the world. Iya Sobande's work has had a profound impact on marginalized communities as she has provided a platform for the study and practice of indigenous African earth medicine. This has opened opportunities for individuals from these communities to access and learn about traditional healing practices through the various initiatives. Iya Sobande continues to create safe spaces for learning, healing, and community building. Her platforms not only provide education and resources, but also foster a sense of belonging and empowerment among participants for generations to come. Powerful, but we can find you, and we will scroll this tonight while we're speaking on Sacred Waters Retreat. And also, we're going to scroll actually naturalchoicesbotanica.com. That's the one that we'll be scrolling, and you can access everything from there.
Well, thank you.
Awesome.
I feel like you said all of that with one breath.
Well, I wanted to get it all in there, but I wanted to, and it's I did not want to shorten the bio because all the work is important. You
Ah,
see what I'm
thank you. I
saying? So
appreciate that.
yeah, all the work is important. So, well, welcome to this conversation, and we have been excited to have you. Let me just ask, when you started this work, when you started, if you're thinking back to, your first days in this work, one of the first things we like to ask is how you like to identify. So when you first started on this path, this journey that you're on, how did you self-identify then, and how do you identify now? Like, what do you call yourself with all the
Hmm,
work you do?
that's a great question. That's a great question.
Excellent.
Um, because I've never been asked that.
Mm.
And honestly,
Mm-hmm.
I just be.
Excellent. Right on.
I
And
just
that is a fair answer.
I just be.
That
I
is a
just
fair
I,
answer.
I just be what I've learned through my experience in watching others not be
Mm.
is that we get attached to titles and trends,
Mm-hmm.
and then we can't be because we're attached to an outcome that's attached to the title.
Correct.
So I save myself by just being and doing the work, and then
Excellent.
I let whatever befalls fall, on my tray of life. So
Right.
I just kind of be.
I love so and just to stick with that for a second then, when you started in the work then, was that I mean, did it feel as though you were just stepping into something that was your essence anyway? Like this is just who you are. So it was like a natural progression into this. Is
Well, this is a question that got asked earlier in today's radio interview,
mm-hmm.
and two things I always remembered I wanted to be as a little girl. I wanted to be a broadcast journalist and an archaeologist. Right?
Wow.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, those two things. And
Right.
um, I allowed in those wanting to be those two things, but not really shooting for the goal of becoming those two things. I
Mhm.
became them anyway through the
Interesting.
through the path of being just still enough to listen,
Mhm.
being just inquisitive enough to ask a question,
Yes.
um, just resolve just enough as a young person to hear a tapping, on the window of my soul that, hmm,
Mhm.
there's something to this. That
Yes.
thing that keeps you seeking and searching. And so
Yes.
I ultimately became a journalist and an archaeologist by simply just discovering myself.
That
Um,
isn't that now that's powerful right there. 'Cause that speaks seriously about really if you honor your truth, if you honor that calling, that feeling that you have within, those things just they find you. Like you didn't have to truly seek it out. They
yeah,
found you. Mm,
three things
powerful.
that three things in that too, Rhonda. Three things that are in that
Mm,
that are really important.
mhm.
I stand on the pillar of know thyself. That's one. Number two, cleanse and purify, like whatever that looks like. My
Mm,
mind, my body, my spirit, right?
yes.
And my third phase is live in alignment with absolute truth.
Mm,
And
mm.
I find myself cycling these three pillars all the time. Just
Yes.
when I'm just when I get to a phase and I know something new about myself, guess what it's time to do? Like the old folks used to say, you better get off the pot or shit.
Yes,
right?
exactly right.
Now that you know something about yourself, what are you going to do? Are you going to hold it? Or are you going to cleanse and purify so you can get to the next stage, which is now? Now that you've cleansed and purified, now you're living in alignment with the truth of who you are. And so I'm recycling that constantly. I'm
That
recycling
well
that.
said. Well
Yeah,
said. That's hard work.
it is.
That is hard work because then you
Yeah, it
do
is.
have to pay attention to the messages and the lessons that you're learning
Mm-hmm.
throughout. Yes. So we understand, and if we go back just to your bio, and I look at all the work that you do, I mean, you have the school, you have the Sacred Waters Retreat, you have the holistic. I'm sorry, let me just go back. I want to get the name correct because I didn't have it in front of my face. Um, yeah, the first African American School of Herbalism, the NCB School of Herbalism. So you have this work as teacher teaching marginalized communities and more,
Mm-hmm.
this work of herbalism. So tell us about when we think about that kind of work, and if you think about your peers in the in that field, what does it mean to be that type of a teacher, somebody who is literally inviting others to take on, for me, that type of knowledge is sacred knowledge. So what does it mean to be that type of person who invites others to learn that type of sacred knowledge?
Well, for me, it's an anomaly. And I
Mm,
don't take the work lightly. It is
mhm.
definitely a piece of work that found me when I found me. And
Mm, mhm.
because it was passed on from my great grandmother. So I
Oh,
had to really, I really had to have a moment, and that happened when I was 18 and I was living overseas, and I was
mm,
I had an apartment over top of a Dutch lady who owned the building. It was like a slim and tall building, and so in order for me to get to my
uh-huh.
apartment, I had to walk through her hallway. And one spring,
Oh, wow.
she stopped me, and with she didn't speak very much English, but she took my hand and she held my hand and she
Mhm.
looked into my eyes, and she was doing iridology. I had no idea. And she
Oh,
said
wow.
in Dutch,
Wow.
"You don't feel so well. You don't feel so good." And I didn't. I had been sick for a number of
Mm,
weeks, which felt like maybe
right.
the onset of a spring cold, you know, you know,
Oh, okay.
my
Yes.
bones were kind of aching, the flu. And this
Aching.
was the
Yes,
80s, so
yes.
there was no cell phone. So what I did is
Wow.
I called back to
Yes.
the United States, and I told my mom that I didn't feel well, and she, was like, "Get to an American doctor, find an American doctor," right? But I'm
Right.
18, so
Right.
that's not what I'm doing. So
Right. Yes.
anyway,
I got better ideas.
this elderly
Right.
lady takes me out into the field in back of the house, and she begins picking the
Mhm.
flowers, but they were the same flowers that my great grandmother used to grow in the yard, that she used to plant. And it
Amazing.
was just in that one moment that I realized that was having a privilege of having two women on two sides of the world who were giving me the same knowledge. And how ironic was that? And so what I
Right.
did, I made myself a promise. I don't know when I'm going back to America, but if I do and when I do, I'm going to talk to my great grandmother about what she
Yeah.
knows. And
Right.
that started the journey.
Wow.
Being in this role and the seat of teacher is really important to me because
Mhm.
it brings this history, uh, this one-on-one, this personal history into the classroom, and
Right.
it deals it from an ancestral perspective. So for me, it's like the work of a griot,
Mhm. Mhm.
the
Mhm.
village griot. I
Yes.
feel that I've been left with the story to tell. I've been
That.
left with the recipes, the modalities, the ways, the dreams, the visions of plant
Yes.
medicine for those who are ready for this style of teaching. Um,
Right.
I will say that while I'm a teacher, I'm the biggest student too.
Mm.
Probably the biggest student first, and I like to lean in from that perspective versus
Mhm.
the perspective of being the teacher. My great grandmother had me make three promises before she
Mm.
would teach me anything. The first one is, when you have children, teach your children the magic.
Yes. Beautiful.
Number two, never let machines do the work that your hands are supposed to do.
Mm.
And number three, child, whatever you do, even if you're in the kitchen cooking, if you're in a bad mood, if you have a bad attitude, don't ever make something for someone that you love. Don't ever make something for someone that you have to feed if your energy is not right. So do everything with love, for love, in love, because of love.
Right on. That that is huge medicine right there.
So I
That is
teach from that perspective.
that's beautiful. So when you told us a bit about how you came to this and that experience that you had, you're 18, you're in the in the Netherlands, you said, and but the two paths, you have these two older women, your great grandmother and this woman there trying to teach you that same thing. That's fabulous. So that helped to bring you to connect with, oh, this is
Mhm,
something that I need to really dive into.
mhm.
Um, how is this, you know, when you think about or when you because when you go through your day to day, how do you incorporate this practice in your everyday? The work that you
Oh,
do with the plant medicine, etcetera.
well, great question too. That's a great one because I hold space as a Yoruba priestess,
Mm,
and my
mhm.
mornings begin always in nature. So I am always honoring the plants. The plants are part of the process
Right.
of a daily intentional space of recalibrating the
Yeah.
energy. And so yeah, that's that's a
It's
daily reverence piece, you know. If you're
beautiful.
if you're going outside and your shoes are off and your feet are touching the soil, right?
Mhm,
And
mhm,
you're standing and you're looking at the trees, you're looking at the plants, you're looking at the grass. Most people wouldn't really call that anything.
mhm,
That
mhm.
that's my church.
Yes, yes, yes.
That's
Right,
that's my church. That's my prayer closet. So
right.
I'm
Yes.
always steeped in the medicine and honoring the medicine and um, trying to find my space within nature so that nature continues to hug me and hold me.
Right, right on. So let me bring this in because we didn't really speak about this in your bio introduction. But as you said, you are a Yoruba priestess. So what brought you into that spiritual practice?
Uh, Back to the three pillars: know thyself.
Mhm,
Um,
mhm.
I just like most African Americans born here through the diaspora. I was born in the South, raised in Louisville, Kentucky.
Mm,
Uh, I went to church with my great grandmother. I went to Bible study. I went to Sunday school. I did the summer camps, the Bible
yep.
camps. Went on the trips on the Greyhound buses, and from church to church to church. And uh, my father's a pastor, so I've been
Mhm.
raised like most African Americans in the church. But there were
Right.
some things that just puzzled me as a child that I could not get an answer for.
Mhm.
I was inquisitive. I wanted to know more than what was in the book.
Yes.
I wanted to know some uh, perspectives. I wanted to widen my view, and I couldn't get that from my
Mhm.
family. Like
Understood,
most,
reasonable.
yeah,
Yes.
like most,
I get
you
that.
know, what I'm saying isn't new.
No, I get
Um,
that.
and so I started on my own journey, and I I was led well from born Baptist or baptized Baptist.
Baptist.
From
Right.
that from that to 7 day Adventism,
Mm.
from 7 day Adventism to take a Shahada. and Islam,
Mhm, mhm.
and then from Islam into back into our own traditional practices. So
Mm.
I kind of went full circle.
Yes.
I kind of went full circle. But it was that know thyself piece that really pushed the boundaries of
Right.
discovering, what feels right, what what reads well,
Right. Yes.
what is well in my own soul, and how does it feel, and how does it fit, and how does it flow. I was honoring myself with those questions because I wanted to not just be sure, but I wanted to feel it. I wanted to feel it here
Yes.
before I thought. I wanted my heart to connect with my head. I didn't want to make it practical. I needed just to make
Yes.
sense within my body. And yeah, Ifa, Vodun, Santeria,
Yes.
Leukemia, all of those things make
Yes.
sense to me in my
Right
body.
on. Love, love, love hearing that. Love
Hmm.
hearing that. And the journey that you took and the know thyself piece. Yes. That piece is so vitally important. It puts the power back in your hands. You know,
Yes.
we talk about the practice and doing the work, whether it's doing the work with the medicinal healings, whether it's doing the whatever the if you're on that journey of discovery of self and listening to your own inner voice, it empowers you. It empowers you.
Hmm.
It's not like the things are out there telling you what you need to do. You are finding out what's within you that
Right.
then you can bring out and share with the world. That's beautiful. Thank you. So tell us about what's important for you right now. What is the one thing that stands out for you to say this is standing out for me in this moment. This has
Mm.
my attention.
Mm. Um, Rest.
I, you know, absolutely.
Rest. Rest is standing out for me right now.
Yeah.
And probably has been since 2020,
Ah.
uh, when perimenopause came for a
Mhm.
visit.
Mhm.
And I'm in a really good season of my
Good.
life emotionally,
Yes.
right? I'm at peace with my passions. I'm at peace with my purpose,
Love.
and I'm at peace with playing.
Mm, I
You
love
know,
this. Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm at peace. So I'm
We gotta
right
play.
now. Rest is revolutionary. Uh, Even if it's just sitting out in my yard, rest is revolutionary for me now because
Mm,
I can, through rest, I can catapult my dreams into the next stage of evolution of what's going to be for me in this next decade.
right.
And yeah, I'm looking at everything through the window,
Beautiful.
instead of
Beautiful.
having the window up and having my neck out.
Right. Yes. That is showing a level of grace to us, to yourself. It's like I don't have to be it's like you're telling yourself I can take the moment to sit back, which is beautiful. My passion is tarot. I love working with divination systems, and specifically tarot. This is the year of the hermit. This is the hermit year.
Um,
So it is all about it's a 9 year, 2 plus, 2025, 9. It's all about taking that moment to be still, to be
mhm,
quiet, to be
mhm,
reflective, to look
mhm.
back on lessons learned and really glean some of that information. But the hermit is the hermit. He
True.
goes up into this is that so this what you just said makes absolute sense for the work of this year. That's fabulous.
Yeah, and it's a
Um,
strategy. Rest is a strategy too.
yes.
Um, it's a strategy to restore, you know, your mind. It takes strategy to just get quiet enough so you can hear your own breath, because
Yes.
a lot of us are not breathing, and because we're not breathing, that means we're stagnant, or we're causing a lot of stagnation.
Mm,
That breath, what I've learned is that the breath causes me to pause,
yes.
where I would normally not pause. And what I've experienced is that when I don't pause,
Mhm.
my thinking doesn't slow down. My reactions don't slow down.
Mhm.
Everything is just going, going, going. But when I take time to be intentional about my breath,
Yes.
that's my pause. I can recalibrate my cells in that moment, which means I'm recalibrating a thought. Something I said I was going might be different after I take a breath through it.
That that
So it's revolutionary for me.
that is wisdom right there.
It's
And it,
revolution.
and again, we can intellectualize it, we can, understand the thought, but putting it
Mhm.
into practice
It's the practice
is
piece.
very difficult, right? It's the practice piece, but now you've said it, you've put it out there. Let's, we're gonna ingest that. We're gonna take that in. Um, Talk about what you're doing right now with community. You work, you have a lot of events. I mean, Sacred Waters Retreat, the school. I mean, all of these things that are going on where you have students or you're working with community. What Talk about what's happening with community for you right now. What you're doing within the community or what is important for you with community building at this moment.
Um, Thank you for that question as well. Well, I've always been uh, a creator of community, or I
Mhm.
should say, a co-creator of community,
Mm.
um, and that is about giving myself what I needed,
Mhm.
and so the
Wow.
work came out of my own personal needs. I needed community. I
Mm.
don't believe that we've been placed on this planet to be alone.
Mhm.
Um, and it is a task for many of us because there's been so much trauma associated with community, even the community of just family. We,
Yes.
we we'll take the microcosm of what
Yes.
we think community looks like, not the bigger one. We're just going to look at the little one and go move outward, vibrate
Yes.
it.
Yes.
So many of us have been so traumatized by community.
Mhm.
Uh, we often become the hermit, right? We're
Yes.
untrusting or so I wanted to kind of relay an old framework in a new container of what
Mm.
community could really look and feel like. But how was
Yeah.
I going to do that? And Spirit just told me, just do the work. Just
Yes.
do the work. It's kind of like that movie, If You Build It, They Will Come.
Yes. Yeah.
That was kind of my spirit saying the same exact thing. Just focus on the
Yeah.
work, hone in on the know thyself piece, right?
Yes.
Through your work, through
Yes.
what your passion is, plus your purpose, and the community will begin to show up. And I focused on that,
Right
and
on.
it
It,
was and still is doing that same thing. So for me at this stage, my community focus is still about my personal growth.
right.
And what does that look like for these crone years?
Right.
Um, what what do I see in my I guess the next 5 years, I guess, near future. Uh,
Yeah.
we talked about this before we came on camera about, the transition of Sacred Waters.
Yes.
I'll transition out of that, directing that, but I'm going to transition into this labyrinth certification work that I've had in my back pocket for more than 25 years.
Oh my
I'm
goodness.
I'm now ready to show people how to not only physically um, build a uh, circuit labyrinth, but what
Mhm.
the labyrinth really reflects is that know thyself piece, the labyrinth of self. So I'm developing this intense 8-week program for those people who want to become labyrinth certified,
Yes.
and will culminate in in a 4-day retreat where we actually build, we go through the process, the spiritual evolution of building the labyrinth, that whole thing. So I'm really channeling some energies into community in a different way, but it's
Mhm.
still really involved that whole know thyself piece. And how can I take that to the next level and really give that to someone so that they can take something out into their community?
That is incredibly exciting. I love labyrinth work.
Oh
During
my
the
God.
pandemic, I was finding all the little labyrinths around the town here, around my community, and I would just go walking, just
It's
be in space, to be in, and I would do labyrinths. That is,
it's a
see,
sacred. It is a labyrinths are a
oh,
sacred treasure, but the
ab
one that really counts is the one inside you.
this is, yes. Yes. Oh my goodness, I cannot wait until that is released. You know what? We've been over here chatting, and I haven't even checked the chat. Rob is here, Ashe and big blessings. Who is this fellow Kentuckian? He is from Kentucky, Rob.
Oh,
Well,
my
thank you
favorite
for
food,
coming back.
Shango. Awo.
Yes.
Tamu. All
Um,
right.
oh, let me just, I have not been scrolling, and let me scroll where people can find you. Let's see.
Alafia.
Let's see, is that scrolling? Our ticker? I don't see our
Yeah,
ticker.
it's
There
coming
it
up.
is. There it is. I see it down there. Well, thank you for that. I'm excited and I can't wait for that to go live because then, your girl is going to have to get involved with that as well because
All right.
full transparency, I have attended Sacred Waters retreat. I was in your first cohort of Cook, Cure, and Conjure.
Mhm.
So, yes, and I continue. I'm excited to learn more about the labyrinth work coming up. What would you like to see us as practitioners, healers, however you like to define the community you're working with? What would you like to see the community you work with as healers, as herbalists doing right now? What's the thing that you would like to see us, the community, doing at this point?
Hmm. As practitioners,
Yes.
I would like to see people live in authenticity.
Mm,
Um, COVID catapulted the practices into TikTok heaven and Instagram. You
yeah.
know, uh, there are a lot of people that be, became aware of the seen and unseen, I should
Mhm.
say,
Mhm. Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
But a lot of it is very faddish. A lot of it is um, get rich quick. A lot of it
Yeah.
is trending. A lot of it is what do they call the people that are on the Instagram that what do they call the people? Uh, what do they call
The
the, uh,
influencers,
influencers? Yeah,
influencers or
yeah,
something. Yes.
yeah. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
I'm old school.
Yeah.
I'm old school. I've been in the faith for more than
With you on that.
25 years, and so I'm old school. I'm an old head. So some things are sacred. A lot of things are sacred,
Yes.
and I wish
Yes.
I wish the practitioners, across the board, whatever they're practicing, would just be a little bit more authentic about what it is they're doing because it's not for everyone. It's
Agreed.
it's not for
Yes.
everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not for everyone. It's just not for everyone.
That's so interesting you say that because our last guest, she also had very much the same. She is in Scotland,
Mm.
um, and practices her work in Scotland. And she also had very much the same. We've heard this throughout many of our guests. Just to say, you are our 101st guest on our show. This is our 101st show of Magical
All
Witchy
right, all
World.
right.
And
Congratulations.
yes, thank you. But to say of those many guests that we've had, many repeat
Mm.
that they're looking for that authenticity, the genuineness, the and not the faddishness
You know what,
of it, whatever
Rhonda?
the
You can't pimp spirit.
mm, right on. Thank you.
You can you can
Exactly.
put on, you can have the gear, you can have the implements.
That's
You
it.
can't pimp spirit. So,
Spirit.
to
Well
anyone
said.
watching,
I need that on a T-shirt.
to
I need
anyone
that on a
watching
T-shirt.
who thinks that
Yes.
these practices are cute, glorified,
Mhm.
trending, you may want to reconsider another path because it's the hardest real inner work
Mhm.
that you'll ever do.
Yes.
It's not about what I give to others, is what am I giving to myself that is expressed in the way I live my life. You know,
Yeah.
I look at myself as a Motel 6, the lights always on.
Mhm, mhm,
So,
mhm.
but I can talk to you about what my shadow work looks like and how it's integrated into my
Thank you.
light, right? I can talk to
Yes.
you about that.
Yes.
I can give you real time experiences. Um, we don't have to lay down cards for that. We don't have to
Right.
we don't have to
Right.
divine for that. You can view that in my day-to-day walk. So, you know,
Right.
you can't
Right.
you can't
Right.
pimp spirit.
I Yes, I do need that on a T-shirt. I'm just saying. So tell us. I know we're running over, but I just have a few because this is a great
That's all right.
conversation. So
Come
thank you
on.
for giving us this
You're good.
time.
You're good.
Um, what about what projects you have coming? You told us about the labyrinth coming
Mhm.
up, but anything else that you have happening this year? School,
Um,
whatever.
outside of the herbalism school, which is always, always
Always
running.
running. Yeah.
I'm closed for the rest of the year. As far as
Good for you.
events, we are relaunching Cook, Cure, and Conjure again. We ran it last year. Um, so this will be
Mm,
the fifth installment. So that will relaunch. That's with High Priestess Yeye Louisa Tish and Priestess Flora
yeah.
Dominis out of Benin, West Africa. And so
Yeah.
we'll run Cook, Cure, and Conjure. It will restart again in November after Thanksgiving. So that'll run, and then into the 2026 season, we'll have the Labyrinth certification program up and running. We go into May with
Yeah.
our annual Sacred Waters retreat, which is Memorial
Yeah.
Day weekend. And we are finally, I said my husband and I, we are finally going to do something for couples. We've been asked probably 20 years at least.
Mhm.
Have two of you ever thought about doing something for couples? And it's been on
Yeah.
the back burner, but I think it's time now. So we're gonna take 12 special couples through a 4-day retreat, just kind of deepening the walk of noble self,
Yes.
of no
Oh my goodness.
cleanse and purify and live in alignment with absolute truth.
Yeah. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness. That's powerful
yeah.
work. That is powerful
Yeah,
work.
we're probably
That's gonna be interesting. I'm looking forward to
we're
hearing about
finally gonna
that
put
too.
our Shango and Ogun powers together
Right on.
and see what they can do.
Yes. Excited, excited. Let me just make certain Alafia. Okay, there we go. This is Rob over here. Just if in
Oh,
the
okay,
chat, if you
okay.
want to see what he's saying. Um, well, okay. Thank you for all of that information. We have lots of things to look forward to. People can catch up on all of what's
Mm,
coming by finding you on the website naturalchoicesbotanica.com. They can reach out for a Sacred Waters retreat, and when you have the Labyrinth program ready, and when you have Cook, Cure, and Conjure ready for this fall, November after Thanksgiving, all of that they can find on
correct.
naturalchoicesbotanica.com. Fabulous. Iya Sobande, it has been an
Thank
absolute pleasure.
you.
Thank you
I
so much for making
know.
the
Thank
time.
you. Thank
I
you.
mean, it has been it has been a pleasure. I know I have been kinda hounding you like for most of the year
No,
to
yes.
change it. I mean, seriously, appreciate it. Thank you so much. Well, listen,
Listen,
we're gonna
I
bid you
appreciate.
farewell for the evening. Tell me. Tell me.
I appreciate you. I appreciate your audience tuning in. And if there's anything that I can do for anybody, just hit me up on the website, or you can email. You can also email naturalchoicesbotanica@gmail.com, and I'll take a look see at your request. So thank you so much, Rhonda.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. And now we're just going to share a little bit about the other shows here at Magickal Witchy World TV. Oh, you guys, that was an amazing conversation. So, what if you missed it? Come back. There's a lot that's going to be coming up next year with Iya Sobande. Having said that, it's astrology time. And let's get to it. We have a couple more signs to get through tonight for July. And then I just want to introduce everybody into what's coming up August, because we're almost at August. So we're going to start with Capricorn. Capricorn, your July horoscope says destiny is knocking on your front door. Let the chips fall where they may. Capricorn, you may feel bogged down by old memories and past issues this month. July's cosmic energy will bring everything you forgot, ignored, and blocked from your memory to the surface. Let this be your chance to process and release to move forward with your spiritual journey. Keep it light, as your Capricorn horoscope for July 2025 wants you to enjoy your summertime fun. You had many events to attend around July 4th as social Venus aligned with freedom seeking Uranus before Venus entered Gemini later that day. So it was a time to be adaptable as your plans with friends and loved ones may have changed on a whim. A better idea or party or activity could have been proposed a little bit later in the day, but despite the fun, these last minute changes and amusements may bring up something from your past when Neptune stations retrograde. Try not to let your past get in the way of your present. For whatever reason, you might be unable to shake something over the next few days. So that was earlier in July. It may have been a little challenging getting through that. But Venus aligned with Saturn in Aries and Neptune retrograde caused you to remember responsibilities, restrictions, and authoritative figures from past summers. Your home and family radicalized how you live your life. Once the full moon in Capricorn rose, fated changes regarding your outlook and spiritual journey went away. Your inner world began unraveling once Saturn stationed retro on July 13th. New understandings and perspectives of past events redefined your outlook of your life thus far. You may have a slight identity crisis about who you are and what you know when Mercury retrograde began on July 18th. Take a step, it was time at that point to take a step back and to reflect on everything coming up mentally and emotionally. Are you on plague you as Venus and Mars square off with the north node of fate and the south node of destiny from July 20th to the 21st. Recent realizations about your life, childhood, and more have rocked your self assurance. You may not know what to do next or if this is worth continuing. Remember how much power you have to transform your life as the sun enters Leo on July 22nd, so just a couple days ago. Nobody and nothing can take away from what you have built. Nothing. Believe in your skills, your talents, and your resources as a new 6 month cycle begins under the new moon in Leo, which just happened yesterday. As July comes to an end, you may realize you need more support than ever before. Align with nurturing and empathic people who will who will be there for you when Venus enters Cancer on July 30th. One of those close connections could be part of a breakthrough regarding your transformation power and control as you go into August. On to Pisces. Pisces, your July horoscope says you're making fated financial decisions. You're overdue for an upgrade. So, Pisces, July's cosmic forecast wants to upgrade every facet of your life. Saturn retrograde, Neptune retrograde, and Mercury retrograde encourage you to redefine your financial opportunities and work life balance. If you're open to it, Uranus and Gemini could take your lifestyle and livelihood in an entirely different direction. Who wants to hang out? Your Pisces horoscope for July 2025 kicks off with joy as Cancer season illuminates your fifth house of creativity, romance, and pleasure. The first week brought spontaneous opportunities, reconnected you with friends, and had you attending local events as friendly Venus aligned with inspired Uranus on July 4th. Someone may have suggested making personal plans, such as vacationing together at a family home later this season. Financial secrets, problems materialized because financial secrets and or problems may have materialized because Neptune retrograde began on July 4th. Lovely Venus met with Saturn in Aries and Neptune retrograde 2 days later. It was time to invest in your home, such as taking on new projects or looking to live somewhere else or someplace new. That's a big decision. Your personal life will be subject to intense, unexpected changes when Uranus enters Gemini on July 7th. So perhaps earlier this month you had some big decisions or intense subjects to deal with. You have a fated opportunity to commit to a more enjoyable, authentic lifestyle. By mid month, those promises, um, mid month promise to begin an immense financial change and restructure as Saturn retrograde started on the 13th. That Saturn retrograde and Neptune retrograde revealed what you need to do differently to be more financially responsible. There might have also been serious problems you needed to handle over those or there might be serious problems you'll need to handle over the next coming months. And you may not be as financially stable in your professional position once Mercury retrograde begins on July 18th. Intense disagreements regarding your personal and professional commitments arise at the end of July. So again, Pisces, you have some things going on, but commitment focused Venus and warring Mars square off with the north node of fate and the south node of karma from July 20th to 21st. Don't make sudden decisions that impact your livelihood as the sun entered Leo on the 22nd. So, abrupt changes in your work life balance will cause you to feel a bit imbalanced. However, this isn't the best time to enter or leave a significant commitment that will impact your life. Kind of take it status quo for the time being. Manifest consistency and stability during this new moon in Leo that we just came through yesterday. Set aside time for your hobbies and your passions as Venus enters Cancer on July 30th. Don't let the chaos from retrograde season get in the way of your summertime fun, even with the stuff. Factor in your summertime fun. When you least expect it, you may figure out what your next steps are for the livelihood before you go into August. And speaking about August, we're going to head to now looking a little bit ahead to the August Leo season, August this 2025. Welcome to your feisty summer. Leo season, taking over the reins of the sky between July 22nd and August 21st, promises to ignite your boldest and most courageous side. So, this is an overall for all 12 signs. In a world where mental energy is constantly accelerating, the sign of the lion serves as a powerful reminder to reconnect with and lead from the heart. When the sun challenges the planet of power, Pluto, a yearly activation, represents the endless dance between light and dark, illuminating the deepest corners of your psyche. Pay attention as you'll be shown what holdbacks may be preventing you from fully stepping into your power and therefore a new future. The retrograde of Mercury began on the 17th of this month and it will end on the 11th of August, also happening in Leo, reinforces the need to go within and reconnect with your heart's desires. What's truly yours and what's responding to societal preconditioning? Only your heart knows the answer. The stars align for you to sit down and answer that deep question as this season's July 24th new moon in Leo. We just had this yesterday. We're still in the vibe. So, answering the question, what does your heart desire? Fierce and fearless. This lunar event delivers a triple dose of fire, serving as the fuel for your long term plans. What do you see yourself building in these next 2 years? Going even further, what dreams do you see yourself fulfilling in the next decade? Leo's strong willed nature ensures you don't forget the goals and intentions you set now. And Mercury retrograde gives you wiggle room to change whatever needs adjustment at the futuristic August 9th full moon in Aquarius. A total of 4 planetary bodies are retrograde now, including Mercury, asking us to review the many changes we've experienced in the first half of this year. In more ways than one, the astrology of Leo season feels like having one step in the past and one step in the future, requiring a sense of comfort in a state of limbo. With the planet of the past, Saturn, cooperating with the planet of the future, Uranus, all season long, the sky offers the possibility to unite tradition and inventiveness, helping all zodiac signs adapt to the changing times. Relationships of all kinds are under focus this season as the cosmic lovers Venus and Mars clash with each other on July 23rd, so just a couple days ago. Well, yes, a couple days ago, yesterday, 2 days ago, and other planets between July 30th and August 9th. If certain situations boil over to feel like a pressure cooker, hang in there as celestial help is on the way starting August 6th. Between now and August 19th, as a grand water trine is formed in the sky, as a total of 6 planetary bodies activate in Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Besides promising a deeper sense of compassion and understanding, this sweet and karmic configuration brings some of the most romantic days of the year. The yearly conjunction between Venus and Jupiter in Cancer, active between August 6th and the 17th, is ideal for finding closeness with a personal bond. Cannot wait. So, next time we gather up, we will start with each individual sign, but for now, you know what we have to do? We got to pull some cards. Woo woo. And I just dropped a couple of my cards, so I had to grab them. Yes, I have all of them. All righty. So if you have your cards handy, fabulous. If you're watching this on playback, grab your cards. We need to get some cards out and pull a card. We're going to focus on this. We're just coming off of this new moon in Leo. And as the astrology here was speaking about, you know, really looking at what is your heart's desire. What is your heart's desire? So let's pull a card and ask the question, what's the information I need to know today to help me identify what is my heart's desire? So what's the information I need to know today to help me identify what is my heart's desire and what do I have? Justice. I have justice. Fabulous. Yes, I am working again with Lisa Sterl's Modern Witch Tarot. I love this deck. So what am I looking at with justice? Justice is if I love this card for many reasons. It reminds me of the fact that we are always in the constant search of trying to be in balance. Those scales in the card speak about being in balance, and the sword there to tell us we have to be willing to be almost, what's the word? We talk about justice being blind, but we have to be um, unemotional, no emotion, no zero given, as the saying goes, about removing or alleviating ourselves from anything that is going to keep us from getting back into a place of balance. So we have to make space. What works and what is necessary, we keep. What doesn't work and what keeps us off balance, we have to get rid of. So we're asking the question, what's going to help me identify what is my heart's truest desire? It's getting rid of the getting rid of what doesn't serve me. Being very discerning about what I keep in my world and what I let go of. I have to have space for what is really going to bring me my greatest joy, what my heart's desire is. And justice is that card that says I have to be very discerning about what I do keep, what I do allow into my world, and what I doesn't serve me and I need to let go of. So yeah, does justice mean, legal stuff and being fair and all of that? Yeah, it can. But when we're asking this, we're really looking at justice to say, I have to be willing to give myself the best opportunity I can to live my best life. And that means I have to find center. I have to find balance. I need to be that middle pillar. Oh, we can go on and on and on, but that's me. That's my card. I hope you guys have pulled a card for yourself. And if you're watching live, great. Put it in the chat. Tell me what card you got. Lavetta, it's great to see you. Rob, it's fabulous having you here with us tonight. Everybody in the chat, we so appreciate you. We will be back next week. And next week, I'm not certain exactly. Well, Star she'll be here. That's the first order of business. We'll have Star back in the house as well. So, everybody, it has been fabulous. I want to thank again Iya Sobande Greer for joining us tonight. Amazing conversations. Really looking forward to what will be offered next, what work she'll be bringing to us next. In the meantime, have a fabulous week and we'll see you next Friday. Good night, everyone.